Review problems. Problem number 3. Let f of x equals x plus 3 and g of x equals x squared minus x. Find and simplify the expression f plus g of -5. Here there are two ways to find the answer. You can plug in -5 for each of the function, and the second one would be getting the sum of the two functions, and that's the time you plug in the -5. It will give you the same result. So we'll just take f of -5 and we replace x with -5 plus 3. So f of -5 is equal to -2. And then we do g of -5. So we plug in -5 for x again. So that's x squared. So we have a power of 2 here minus -5. So our answer here is equal to 25. That's -5 times -5 plus 5. So we will get 30. So now, since our operation here is addition for the two functions, we're adding the two functions. So we'll just add -2 plus 30. So that would be our solution. Adding these two, that would be -2 plus 30, and the answer is 28. So that would be the answer, adding the two functions with a value of -5. So 28 is the answer here. The second solution would be you have to add x plus 3 plus x squared minus x and get the sum. And then after getting the sum, you plug in -5. It will give us the same result, still 28. Problem 4. Use a calculator to find the common logarithm. So without any base, that's a base 10 or a common log. So you can just use your calculator and find the log button that's near the 7 or number 7 button to the left of that in your TI 83 and 84 plus, or just 83 and 84. So press that log and then press 7, then 6, and then hit enter, and it gives you the answer right away. So round to 4 decimal places. So that's the direction. So the answer would be 1.8808. The next number after that would be a 1. So that's why we round that down. So 1.8808 is the answer with 4 decimal places. Okay, for number 5, it's an application problem. Sally can paint a room in 7 hours, while it takes Steve 3 hours to paint the same room. So this is a working together problem. How long would it take them to paint the room if they work together? So we can let x, or let the variable x be equal to the number of hours they work together, or the time they work together. Okay, and our equation would be 1 over 7 plus 1 over 3, or 1/3, equals 1 over x. And then we can multiply the whole equation by 21x. That would be the LCM for 7, 3, and x. So that would be 21x. So we can eliminate the bottom terms. So 1 over 7 times 21x, that would be 3x, right? And then plus 1/3 times 21x, that would be 7x, equals 21x times 1 over x, or 1 over x times 21x. The answer would be just 21. Okay, and we will get 3x plus 7x would be 10x, equals 21. So we're trying to get rid of 10 to isolate our x. So we have to divide 10 on both sides. So our x therefore is equal to 21 over 10. So if we can reduce this, then we have to find the common factor. But in here, 21, you have 7 and 3. 10, you have 5 and 2. So there's no common factor between the two. So this is the lowest term. So we will leave this as a fraction to have an exact answer. You don't have to change this into a decimal value. So this is in number of hours. So that would be our answer. 21 over 10. You don't have to change that also into a max number. So just leave it there. Last problem, problem 6. What are the equations of the vertical and the horizontal asymptotes of the graph y is equal to 1 over x minus 2 plus 3? So remember the rules on finding the vertical asymptote and the rules also in finding horizontal asymptote. But first we have to simplify our given equation. So there are two terms here. We can put this into one fraction by finding the LCD between the two. So y equals 1 over x minus 2. The LCD between the two terms is x minus 2. So we will have that x minus 2 here, but we have to multiply x minus 2 also on the top. So what we do at the bottom, do the same thing on the top. So that cancels out. So you're not changing the whole equation. So it's like you cancel this out, it gives you back the original equation. So our answer here is by distributive property, we will get 1 plus 3x. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6 all over x minus 2. So we just simplify the terms on the top. So we will get here 1 minus 6, that should be a negative 5. So I'll just write the terms with x first, 3x minus 5 over x minus 2. So now finding the vertical asymptote, we will look at the bottom term, which is the denominator, okay, in this case. So our equation was transformed from two terms into a fraction, like a rational expression. So, or rational equation. So we will have now our vertical asymptote would be set the bottom equal to 0, so x minus 2 equal to 0. So solving for x, that would be x is equal to 2, and that would be our vertical asymptote. So that would be the answer, x equals 2. Now if your answer is just 2, that's a wrong answer because that is just a point. It should be an equation. So that would be the vertical line passing through the broken part of this graph. So x is equal to 2 is the complete answer. Now, looking at the powers, since we're trying to solve horizontal asymptote now, from the rule, the power of the top or the degree of the top, which is the power of the variable x here, it's power 1. No power is understood as power 1. And the bottom, the degree also is 1. So they have the same degree. So what the rule said, you just have to look at the coefficient of the leading term divided by the coefficient of the leading term at the bottom. So which you do not have, that is understood, you have a 1 here, and 3 divided by 1 is a 3, and you just have to write the variable y equals to that number. So 3 divided by 1, it's 3. So y is equal to 3 is the horizontal asymptote. So if you're going to check your answer here, just graph y is equal to 3x minus 5 over x minus 2. You enter that in a Dismos calculator, and then you can see that the vertical asymptote, when you also graph this x is equal to 2, it's the line passing through the broken part of the graph. So that's the vertical line or the hidden line passing through. So same thing with the horizontal asymptote, y is equal to 3, that would be the line passing through the broken part of the graph. But this is horizontal line. So those are the answers. Again, problem number 6, vertical asymptote is x is equal to 2. Horizontal asymptote is equal to, or y is equal to 3. So those are the two asymptotes for this given equation.